Imps, you may have handed us the key to rescuing Cloudy. What must we do? First and foremost, we must confront Athena. She must be made vulnerable, as the Litmus was. Yet our opponent stands on the verge of godhood. As we are now, she would unmake us in an instant. Cousin, we have no choice but to place the burden of our fate, and the fate of many more besides, squarely upon your shoulders. I trust you have no objections. It's a burden I'm used to carrying. I imagine so. Never have we relied upon your skills at arms. We all appreciate Kaslow's willingness to fling himself at the unknown. However, we must yet hear how this will liberate Cloudy. I have a plan. Do not trouble yourselves over the details. Same goes for you, cousin. You must focus the entirety of your attention on Athena. She will not be easily bested, even by one of your prowess. And let us trust in La Habrea and prepare for the battle to come. Before we face Athena, I must know. She had never discovered the Orson, had never fallen under its influence. Would she have lived a normal life? Would she have been a mother to me? I have asked myself the same questions. Questions with no answer, I fear. Let us put him out of our mind. There is something we must discuss. And I would do so not as La Habrea, but as father to his son. Countless years I waited within that stifling crystal. And now, when my dream is finally within reach, stand in my way. Your dream is not but selfish ambition. Its fulfillment would benefit only you. And why, Athena? At the end of this road to godhood, what did you hope to find? Matters not. The fact remains that she worked against the interests of the star. Even so, I would hear her answer. I would know why my mother cast us aside. How unlike you, Anthonios. You were never so inquisitive before. Having struck upon a hypothesis, there's but one thing the wise woman desires. Irrefutable proof. My theory was that any true god would see us as we are, imperfect. She would hammer out our flaws, build something greater. To prove this could not but benefit the star, I would give it the perfect stewards, that it might shine brighter than any other. And you would destroy the lives already on it. In that, I am no different from our peers. Over the course of eons, how many creations have we wrought? Such creatures cannot but usher their inferior predecessors into oblivion. Even without our meddling, nature would take the self-same course. If the destination is the same, is it somehow worse to arrive there by guidance of a god? I think not. The Orside made such thoughts irresistible, perhaps, but it cannot have created them from whole cloth. This is Athena's truth. What right have you to pass judgment? You are but a vessel for my masterwork. Your purpose ends there. My only mistake was leaving you possessed of a soul. What are you saying? Poor Ericthonius, always the last to arrive at the obvious conclusion. I gave birth to you for a single reason, that you might serve as my tool. And like any tool, I crafted you to suit my needs, that you might accept my essence when the time came. Of course, I also made you more amenable to my demands, and ensured that you would feel a cloying affection for your dear mother. However, it seems that my tinkering was insufficient. My very feelings were of your design. You created a boy unable to grasp even the simplest magic, ever hopelessly clinging to his mother's robes, unable to do otherwise. I was doomed from the start. Yet here you are, standing in defiance of her design. You are more than what she made you. I still feel the sting of it, but with pain comes clarity. You ill deserve to wear the mantle of a god. As stubborn as you are witless, if the star will not be mine, then it serves no purpose. Is that Ultima? That sure looks like Ultima. She aims to obliterate the ethereal sea and stem the flow of life. She will do no such thing. Before the battle, La Habrea told me that I was the key to finishing this. Although I am but an illusion, my soul has crossed eons to find its home in another. One whose body Athena has seen fit to purloin as her own. Much of what I once was now resides in him. Should my memory seize this chance to follow suit, it may resound enough to wake his mind. But Athena inhabits him still. What will become of you? I don't know, but if I can rouse his soul, perhaps it will disrupt Athena's hold. It's the best chance we have. My whole life, others have looked down upon me, but I've never given up searching for my purpose. Now, I've found it. This decision is yours to make, and yours alone. Do as you will, my son. I know you shall make me proud. Ericthonius, do not dare. No, stop this. Your words hold sway over me no longer. My life is my own. And now I have found my true family. My power wanes. The vessel rejects me? What is happening? Athena's magic should not be impotent with no body to fuel them. Precisely. Athena was the sole force holding the space around Pandæmonium together. Now it crumbles. Although little would change if we were buried here. We cannot let this be Caslo's final resting place. All my miscalculations. To think that you would be my undoing. That you would be even capable of defying me. Is there more you would say to me? Or have you decided to run to your dear mother's bosom? Have you brought Claudian back to me? Apologies, but I am only the dregs of your own memory. I could do naught but watch as the evil you wrought collapses, bearing you under its weight. How disappointing. Truly, useless to the last. And who made me that way? Perhaps we might discuss a matter which has been troubling me. While your colleague, Nimjiji, was enlightening us on the historical events which led to this era, she let slip the name of one of the Asians, La Habrea. Although she knew of the figure only from her research, she was most insistent there was no evidence connecting the Asian to myself. Yet I am aware of this La Habrea used the heart of Sabik to sow chaos throughout your world. And I would be a fool to deny such strong connections between us. You are the only present who has met the Asian in question, so I would ask you directly. Are he and I one and the same? Is my fate to work in the shadows and bring about untold destruction? You're him. But that heart of Sabik was part of the problem. I see. If you say so, then there's no reason to disbelieve it. These Asians, or paragons, I'm told, or ruthless in their schemes to rejoin the sundered worlds. I've heard but a small number of their deeds, and still I find it difficult to comprehend the depths to which they were willing to sink. To choose a path of evil, all for the sake of the star. I admit, 'tis a decision I would make under the right circumstances. Although the ages may take their toll, my devotion to my duty will never waver. Paying no heed to what might be lost, I will treat the hardest to beak as a mere tool for my own ends. Never caring to look beyond the surface, or unleash forces that I fail to truly comprehend, I remain blissfully ignorant to my hypocrisy all the while. It appears Claudian has awakened. Yes, I have some faint memories of what transpired. You stood against Athena and won. And you were there too. Lahabria, Ericthonius' memories of you dwell within me still. Through unyielding discipline, you hope to forge a son equal to yourself. The crucible you placed him in, of scars which were loath to heal. Yet you were never motivated by selfishness. All you did was in service of your duty. At the least, I'll hear no more. Though you may possess Ericthonius' memories, you're not him. In rebirth, you have become someone else entirely. You belong to this age. As such, I am your enemy, and an enemy does not deserve sympathy. Of course, I would never condone the actions of the Assi, but you are not him. You are Lahabrea of the Convocation. You spared no effort in saving us from Athena's machinations. For that you deserve the utmost praise, and my personal thanks. If you insist on deceiving yourself, then so be it. My stance remains unchanged. The most difficult of your trials is behind you, but you may find that Pandæmonium has yet to relinquish the last of its secrets. Among them is the identity of Hephaestus' liberator, who set the very first wheels in motion. There is but one place to find these answers: the past. However, I must insist that you keep silent about Athena's fate. While I doubt it would change the decisions I make, you should not tender us information we cannot uncover ourselves. Now that I have said my piece, I shall follow in my son's footsteps. These odious memories will fade to nothing, as was always their fate. Farewell. My time, too, draws near, but I believe I can stay long enough to see this matter through. You shall journey to the past to seek out the truth of La Habrea's words, yes? While Themis himself may have been there to see this encounter. I have the unique opportunity to hear your perspective on the matter. That is, of course, if you will share it with me. I look forward to it. I shall take in the ethereal seal one last time as I await your return. Yes. Truth be told, I thought you would have little reason to ever visit this place again. Seems I was wrong. Looking for answers. How neatly you obfuscate your motivations. Do as you will, then. He's gone through the trouble to visit us, so I hardly think curtness is in order. We braved Pandæmonium together. Why not at least share with him our progress? I've relinquished control of Pandæmonium to La Habrea. It was never meant to hold it for long. Now such authority resides in rightful hands. With La Habrea's help, we have poured through Athena's research into the Hematheia. Thus were we able to restore Hegemony's mind and body. Yet there is still much work to be done. Damage to repair, keywords to replace. Tasks are too many to count. But although the path may be long, our progress is steady. I believe we can safely say that Pandæmonium will soon function as it did before. Indeed. Before we reach that point, however, there are some matters to which we must put to rest. One concerns Pandæmonium itself, and another is a personal matter. Until they are settled, I cannot move forward. It shall not take long. Lack of resolve caused me to delay, but I have chosen my course. These concerns must be weighty indeed. You intend to share your burdens with us. If you would bear witness, then come. Your arrival at this very moment almost beggars belief. I shall not ask you to leave. Simply ask that you do not interfere, no matter what may happen. He's going to take his other half into him. Stay here. This will be over soon. Why did you call me here, Master La Habrea? There's still much to be done, if the warders are to be freed. You have served within Pandæmonium since Athena's time, have you not? That makes you the most senior keyword, now that Aegisthus is gone. As such, you deserve to know a secret few others are privileged to hear. One concerning myself. Separating Hephaestus from myself required removing part of my soul. A necessary sacrifice, but one which came at no small cost to my natural talents. I am but a shadow of a man I was at the time of my appointment as La Habrea. I could never hope to wield the same magics that Hephaestus used to bind the warders' minds, let alone break their shackles. That tone of defeat does not befit your voice, Master La Habrea. Do not give in to despair. There is no despair, only truth. I do not confide in you to garner cheap sympathy. Hephaestus left behind fascinating research. His conclusion was that in order to transform a vessel into a Hematheos, absolute control over their mind was essential. As you well know, the magics used to achieve such dominion exploited strong emotions within their victims' hearts. In the case of Hesperos and Agdistus, their respect for me. Upon slipping his bonds, Hephaestus took steps to throw Pandæmonium into chaos. With their attention divided, keyword and warder alike were easy targets. But there was an act that came before. Regardless of Hephaestus' prowess, he could not have won freedom on his own. For long days and nights I pondered who might have released him. I could only conclude that Athena's plans were set in motion long, long ago, when she claimed the mind of one of her admirers. Hegemony. Now, none would question your pride in your position, your devotion to Pandæmonium. But you do not believe I am the one fit to lead it, do you? Your loyalty lies not with my vision of Pandæmonium, but Athena's. Master La Habrea, whatever has spurred this sudden accusation, I assure you, there is a proper explanation. What are you doing, La Habrea? Oh, I missed that one. Came too quick. As I have already stated, even should I detect Athena's tinkering, I'm currently powerless to dispel it. And so I have come to a decision, one which has made the best interests of our star in mind. In order to build a better future, I require the strength I have lost. I must embrace these odious memories. Mark well this sight. Engrave it upon your very soul. I'll bear witness to the true La Habrea. Cannot imagine this was an easy choice, but it is done. Is she alive? Yes, and she shall remember this lesson well. Athena's puppet no longer, I see. She may yet harbor ill will toward me. That is a risk I'm willing to take. Our star requires a steady hand to guide it. Now mine is equal to the task. I can no longer allow Pandæmonium to divert my focus. Gemini, I would ask that you serve me anew. There is none other more suited to overseeing this prison. None other will take such pride in their duty. My loyalty to Athena led me to betray you once before. Why would you allow me to keep the position of keyword? I require your talents, as I require Hephaestus's. The past is of no consequence. Very well. In honor of our fallen colleagues, I shall restore this institution to its former glory. Mahabharata is himself once more, wields his authority without hesitation, and thinks not twice once his judgment has sounded. Yet he is different from Athena. He thinks only of the betterment of the star. So long as duty guides his actions, he shall not share her fate. And should his convictions ever waver, the emissary will set him back on the proper course. Good. If this is the path he chooses to walk, then I will walk it with him. I'll allow our bond to fray no further. As his son, I will support him in the days ahead. I would not ask you to say the same, cousin. You and I stand on peaks separated by vast chasms. Our perspectives shall never align. Never shall one give way to the other, for such is our nature. With that in mind, let us consider any debts between us to be void. Before you leave here, mark well these words. My resolve shall weather loss unfathomed, and yield before no obstacle. Walk your path with the same conviction. There you are, cousin. While you were away, Themis brought me up to speed on all that happened while I was held prisoner. The story shone light upon a number of questions that were niggling at my consciousness, namely, those concerning the ethereal signature emanating from Azazla. Doubtless its source was Athena, reaching out as far as she could from a prison, ever grasping for someone to take Erathonius' place, grasping the body his soul resided in. I wanted to ask, when you first found the crystal, were you unable to hear the memories stored within? Indeed, it was only after our research was well underway that I could hearken to its whispers. Contact with the crystal should have awakened the memories. The passage of time likely changed Erathonius' soul in subtle ways. Perhaps ethereal resonance was a gradual process in this case. However, being attuned to Erathonius, exposed you to Athena's voice as well. Doubtless the choice to venture forth into Azazla was not your own. It was Athena's influence working through you. I do recall being strangely fixated on acting alone. I never would have encouraged such recklessness usually. Although the choice was not entirely my own, I am still ashamed of my actions. Reflection is how we plant the seeds of growth. Although we must not blame ourselves for events out of our control, that voice in the crystal belonged to the person from which your soul originated. Well, not even the most brilliant researcher could come to that conclusion. Your reassurance means more than you know. Thank you. Now, one final matter. It concerns the very crystal whose discovery set this adventure in motion. Perhaps sparked by recent events, a new light began to shine from within its depth. In my experience, it may indicate that a new memory has floated to the surface, eager to be observed. For some time, the question of why La Habrea and Erathonius would leave such a crystal behind in the first place has lingered in the back of my mind. Erathonius' memories and such magical talents are at my disposal. I believe I can make this final memory manifest for all us to behold. Shall we witness it together? I leave this memory for you, the future of our star. The final days have come, and the creation magics we have so relied upon now hasten our downfall. But despair is not yet won out. La Habrea and the others of the Convocation are working to stem the chaos which threatens to engulf our star. Their plan requires great sacrifice. Litibus, Themis, has already offered to give his life for our salvation. Yet there is another problem which must be dealt with. Pandæmonium, wherein are confined our most vicious creations. Even should we survive the final days, it will take time to restore order. Pandæmonium's cells were breached, and their prisoners set upon the star. Our hard-won peace would be obliterated in an instant. Someone must stay behind to ensure that never happens. With Themis and La Habrea otherwise indisposed, that responsibility falls to me. And that is why I must defy the directive of the Convocation. My soul will not be offered to manifest the will of the star, but instead consigned to eternal vigil. I know that in doing so, the final days may take me. I may not live to see my duty upheld. That's why I have resolved to set this crystal adrift in the tides of the underworld. It contains memories of Pandæmonium from both my father and I, and shall bear this warning to the future, even if I cannot. I've imbued the crystal with magics that will attract it to my essence. Even should I journey through the underworld, be born anew, this message will reach me. Pandæmonium shall not be left unattended. If all else fails, then perhaps another man, like my dear friend, will come along. One with an almost unnatural ability to pick up the scent of trouble. I wonder where he is now. How many souls has he saved? How many beasts has he slain since we last met? Alongside my mourning, this memory shall carry a wish. Castle, may we meet again. Now listen well. If anyone receives this message, you must come to Pandæmonium. Please make haste. I repeat. So yeah, what did happen to Pandæmonium after the final days? Well, that dispels the last of my doubts. Thank you for humoring me. Now we come to this. It survived. Yes, the heart of Sabik. The tie that bound Athena's memories to my body. When I regained my senses, I found it on my person. Now it appears your efforts have left it bereft of memories. No trace remains of Athena. However, its power as oversight yet remains. It may prove to be a valuable trove of knowledge in the hands of the right researcher. I feel that fate has left it with me for a reason. I shall take my leave, but on behalf of my colleagues, nay, the entire star, I thank you both for putting an end to Athena's wickedness.
I see. Then Hephaestus' story has been laid bare.
a voice-acted cutscene in the raid story? Okay. You got me, Square Enix. I wasn't expecting that.
As has the nature of our mysterious crystal. The questions which led us into Pandæmonium are answered, and soon order shall be restored. I too can fade away, unburdened by regret. I could not have reached this point without you, friend. So many revelations. But there are more, if you would dig a little deeper. Elidibus's soul was plucked from the ethereal sea, and from it I was wrought. Surely you have a passing interest in what I remember, in what I feel. You deserve what answers I can provide. While my memories of Pandæmonium are clear, all else is hazy at best. Perhaps Athena made me this way, or perhaps it is the result of who or what I was before. Still, I can recall vague figures, scenes from my future and your past. At the Crystal Tower's peak, we clash. And later, from that self-same spire, I send you forth into our age, into Elpis. Why do I decide on such a course? Formless as these images are, I cannot say. However, I can hazard a guess. Somewhere within my fragmented memories, I catch a glimpse of our journey into Pandæmonium. A glimpse which shows not the path we took or the destination where it led us, yet by its very presence demands that you are required in Elpis. And even if that act is but one link in the chain of events which ends in Atheris' salvation, then this all has meaning. Our time together, every moment, is worthwhile, and I am unburdened by regret. That said, it is possible my motivations become something else entirely. That you would cross this vast expanse in the hopes of being reunited with your allies. A devotion that once would have baffled me. But after having been to the depths of that twisted prison and back, I think I can understand. Now, I have pulled back the curtain as far as I dare. The people of your age call this the Ethereal Sea, a name I quite enjoy, for it teems with life, each star a soul on its journey. And among these uncountable stars, it was yours that crossed my path. For that, I shall be forever grateful. I wish you well on your journey. A journey as long as your star is bright. A journey not bound by the confines of this world or any other.
Did not expect a voice-acted cutscene. Oh.
How fascinating. The truths that dwell at the edge of sleep. The course of history is set by its victors. It is immutable, and yet should this star continue upon its path, look, the light.
Getting reborn? Welcome back, Kesselin. I hope you said farewell to Thembus for me. Recent events have given me not only a new focus on my research, but also insight into my own origins. Truly, it is a gift I could never hope to repay. As Lahabra has said, I'm not Aractonius, yet I bear a part of him inside me, and I shall do what I can to follow the traces he has left behind in the present day. A spark has been struck in my mind. I'm ready to pursue my research with a fervor, the likes of which I had not since my youth. Doubtless, I shall have need of you in the days and moons ahead. When the time comes, I only hope that you will once again lend me your sound counsel. Until then, may your farewell. And that's Pandæmonium. Although they make it sound like there might be some wrap-up. Maybe something we'll get in the last, 6.55 or something. They've never done that, but doesn't mean they can't. Alright guys, I'll see everybody on YouTube next time